Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new horror comedy, The WeedHacker Massacre. And this is from director Jody Stelzig and writer Ray Spivey. In this particular film, how many remakes of bad horror movies can you remake? The cast of WeedHacker Massacre film where murders occurred 10 years ago. Bad acting, bounced payroll checks, and the killer's return threaten what is to become their worst movie ever. And this is such a weird, interesting, meta-contextual horror comedy here that you could definitely tell that Stelzig didn't have a huge budget here, and it shines through. But there's a charm to that because they're making such a low budget movie and it gives that sense, and it's kind of charming in that way. And this whole entire idea of like this crew trying to make this movie, but there's a killer and killer befriending one member of the crew. You have this young woman who's part of the crew that has been through all this trauma and how that comes back. The film plays around with a lot of tropes of, a lot of horror films and a lot of character archetypes. And it's such a weird, like, Leatherface-esque killer here that winds up coming through and winds up being quite funny, but also very dangerous. And this whole entire film, it leans into those awkward moments of like what really torpedoes like a film coming together, and this honestly does a really fine job of capturing the pitfalls of trying to make a movie and does it in a very earnest and effective way. And the acting is the acting. It fits the budget, it fits the tone of what this film's trying to do. I think the biggest thing is this is a bit of a hot mess. There's just so many moving pieces in this 95-minute film that's bouncing all over the place. And, there's things that are quite entertaining. There's things that, are pretty clever in terms of its dark comedy. And it has some interesting enough commentary on the filmmaking process and our obsession with these horror stories and stuff like that. Narratively, it's all over the place. Production-wise, it's very clunky. But I think it has just enough to make this pretty entertaining. This isn't going to be some movie that you're going to write home about, but this is destined to be like that kind of cult classic movie. Your friends are all drunk and having a good time. You just throw this on and have a good time. And I think that Stelzig found that right level of balance of all of these things to deliver something that's, a fun time. It's not a particularly good movie, but it's something that has some merit and has some things that are going to hook the audience, draw them in. And if you're looking for this type of thing, this horror comedy, and just enjoying the wacky, bloody, wild good time, I think it does that pretty well. Those are my thoughts on the WeedHacker Massacre. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.